Losing a pet is one of the hardest things any animal lover can go through. But what if, years later, that furry friend suddenly came back, against all odds? Today, we'll count down 7 incredible true stories of lost pets who returned to their owners after years, and some of these reunions will absolutely blow your mind. Nigel, the parrot. Parrots are famous for their ability to speak like humans. A man from Britain named Darren Chig was living in California with his parrot, Nigel. The bird had started to mimic human speech and even picked up Darren's British accent. In 2010, Nigel escaped from home and disappeared, leaving Darren unable to find him. 4 years later, the parrot was discovered by someone else and taken to a vet. After scanning the microchip, the clinic managed to trace Nigel back to Darren. However, the bird no longer spoke with a British accent. Instead, he now spoke fluent Spanish. It was soon revealed that during those missing years, Nigel had been living with the Smith family. They had unknowingly bought him for $400 at a yard sale shortly after he had flown away. Ruben Hernandez, the Smiths' 86-year-old grandfather, grew particularly close to the bird and renamed him Morgan. Having lost his wife, Ruben found comfort and companionship in talking to Morgan every day. When Morgan, formerly Nigel, flew off once again, his reunion with Darren made headlines. Liza Smith, Ruben's granddaughter, reached out to Darren to explain what had happened. Moved by the story and by Ruben's connection to the bird, Darren decided to let Morgan stay with the Smith family, his new home. Woozy, the cat. Helen and Philip Johns from Cornwall, England, were heartbroken back in 2011 when their beloved 7-year-old cat, Woozy, mysteriously vanished. After months of searching and no sign of their furry friend, they eventually accepted the sad truth: Woozy probably wasn't coming home. But little did they know, their clever cat had gone on an epic food-fueled adventure. Woozy had wandered a whopping 50 kilometers, 30 miles, away and somehow ended up at the Ginster's pasty factory. Basically, paradise for any hungry cat. The factory workers instantly fell in love with the charming little stowaway. They gave him a new name, George, and an endless supply of snacks, sausage bits, meat scraps, and anything else that fell out of a pie crust. For 3 glorious years, George lived like royalty, ruling over the factory floor as the company's unofficial mascot. Eventually, the workers decided to take their plump, happy mascot to the vet for a checkup. They figured he was just a friendly stray, until the vet scanned his microchip and dropped the bombshell. George was actually Woozy. Helen and Philip were overjoyed to get the call. When they saw him again, their once sleek cat had transformed into a very round, very content pasty connoisseur. Corky, the dog. In 2009, a scruffy little terrier mix named Corky decided that life behind a fence in Texas just wasn't adventurous enough. The 1-year-old pup, a beloved gift to the Montez children, slipped out of his kennel one day and vanished. No paw prints, no clues, just gone. Fast forward nearly 7 years to 2016. 2 small stray dogs were spotted wandering side by side along a lonely road. Animal control officers picked them up, scanned their microchips, and, surprise! One of them was Corky, the long-lost family pet. But Corky wasn't alone. He had a new best buddy, a younger, one-eyed dog who seemed to follow him everywhere. The Montez family adopted the new friend and named him Captain. It didn't take long to see that Corky had been playing the role of big brother all along, making sure Captain ate first and keeping a close watch like a furry bodyguard. It's likely the pair survived all those years by relying on each other. With his missing eye, Captain might not have made it without Corky's help. And after seeing their bond, the Montez family didn't have the heart to separate them. So, Corky and Captain went home together. 2 inseparable heroes who proved that friendship really can survive anything. Charlie, the cat. Back in 2006, in Hampshire, England, Joe and Ade Hay grew increasingly anxious when their beloved cat, Charlie, failed to come home for dinner. They searched everywhere, putting up posters, walking the neighborhood, and asking around, but months went by with no sign of him. Heartbroken, they eventually accepted that Charlie was gone and moved to a new town just a few miles away. Fast forward 6 years to 2012. Joe and Ade's lives had completely changed. They were now the proud parents of twins. One day, while helping her mother look for a new house, Joe found herself back in her old neighborhood. the very place where Charlie had disappeared. And then, fate stepped in. As Jo walked down the familiar street, she spotted a cat that looked exactly like Charlie. Without hesitation, she scooped him up and knocked on a nearby door. The homeowner said the cat was a stray he sometimes fed, but nobody knew who he belonged to. A quick trip to the vet solved the mystery. The microchip confirmed it was indeed Charlie. After 6 long years, he had somehow made his way back to the same area, just a little late for dinner. These days, Charlie has traded his outdoor adventures for the comfort and safety of staying indoors, where dinner is always served on time. Opie, the horse. In 2002, in San Antonio, Texas, a woman named Michelle Poole was hospitalized for back surgery. While she recovered, she asked her father to look after her beloved horse, Opie, since the cost of boarding him at a stable was too high. Her father didn't have proper stables, so Opie was kept safely inside a fenced pasture. But one night, someone cut through the wire fence, led Opie into a trailer, and vanished into the darkness, stealing the horse without a trace. Opie was a saddlebred pinto, a beautiful and valuable breed worth anywhere from $1,200 to $15,000. Heartbroken, Michelle reported the theft to Stolen Horse International, hoping that one day she might see her companion again. A full 10 years passed before Michelle got the phone call she never thought would come. Opie had been found. The horse was discovered more than 320 kilometers, 200 miles, away in Dayton, Texas, by a pastor who claimed he'd seen the animal wandering alone on the side of a road. Conveniently, he happened to have an empty horse trailer and decided to rescue Opie. Instead of alerting the authorities, however, the pastor tried to sell the horse on Craigslist. That's when a sharp-eyed woman, searching for a horse for her daughter, noticed that the photo looked exactly like one from a list of stolen horses online. Opie's distinct markings left no doubt. This was the missing horse from San Antonio. The woman reported her discovery, and soon the Dayton Sheriff's Department organized a nighttime raid with a team of contract cowboys. Around 2 a.m., they successfully recovered Opie from the pastor's property. Although there wasn't enough evidence to charge the man with theft, Michelle's decade-long wait was finally over. She was joyfully reunited with her long-lost friend, Opie. Fuzzy the cat. In 2010, Michelle Wright, from Barrington, New Hampshire, asked a friend to look after her young cat, Fuzzy, while she was away. But when the cat disappeared, a neighbor told her that a black and white cat had been hit by a car nearby. Heartbroken and convinced it was Fuzzy, Michelle stopped searching. Fast forward 4 years, Michelle had moved on with her life and even adopted new pets. One day, while browsing at a local pet store less than a mile from her house, she glanced at the adoption cages and froze. There, staring back at her, was a cat that looked exactly like Fuzzy. The longer she looked, the more certain she became. The markings, the eyes, the expression, everything matched. Curious and a bit stunned, she asked the store owner where the cat had come from. He explained that it had been rescued from the side of the road and that the vet estimated it to be about 4 years old, precisely the age Fuzzy would have been. Michelle returned with old photos, including one that showed a small, distinctive birthmark on the pad of Fuzzy's paw. The match was undeniable. This was her long-lost cat. After paying an $85 adoption fee, which covered vaccinations and a microchip, Michelle finally brought Fuzzy home again, this time for good. Manuela the tortoise. In 1982, in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, the Almeida family was heartbroken when their beloved pet tortoise, Manuela, disappeared. At the time, their house was undergoing renovations, and workers often left the front door wide open while carrying materials in and out. The family assumed that Manuela had taken the opportunity to wander off and get lost outside. More than 30 years later, in 2013, the Almeida children were now adults. Their father, Lionel, had passed away, and they were cleaning out his old house. While sorting through his belongings, they opened a storeroom that he had always kept locked. Inside was a mountain of old electronics, televisions, record players, radios, all things Lionel had collected over the years, insisting he'd fix them someday. As the family dragged the dusty boxes and broken gadgets out to the curb, they got the shock of a lifetime. Manuela was alive and sitting inside one of the cardboard boxes. After more than 3 decades, their missing tortoise had been living in that cluttered room the entire time. When they took her to the vet, He explained that red-footed tortoises can survive 2 to 3 years without food. The family then realized how she might have managed it. The old wooden floors were infested with termites. Manuela had likely been snacking on the bugs whenever she got hungry. Which story touched your heart the most? Tell us in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing true stories.